What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Daily Boosted. Today we're going to talk about the Porsches. So I got super lucky on the Facebook on the marketplace. I saw another set of the Technic for sale. It was dirt cheap. There was no box and a couple of parts missing, but there was instructions and essentially most of the pieces for the set. So I jumped on it, quickly put everything apart and gave it a wash. So all the Lego was clean, good to go. And what do you do with the second set? You're not going to display two of the same cars, especially in the same color. So there is a MOC instructions. I'll have a link down below where you can purchase these instructions. And I put it together pretty much straight away, and super excited to share it with you guys. So obviously this is the original. There's no changes done to it. It's all from the instructions. And this is what I put together. It is using less parts, just to give you a comparison. That's how much Lego is left. I did have to use panels from the bag, so the stickers had to come off. That was the original seat from the instruction, and I thought it was like super bulky and I wasn't a big fan. So I made my own seats, and then when I made it, the car looked really, I don't know, 1980s, 1970s era Porsche, like it really looked old school. So I made those old school seats, you know, like tiny buckets, where you slam in and just go for it. So there's a fair bit of Lego left. Let's have a geese. So I have to put that back in. That just slides. Ooh, what does it slide there? Just clips in with the one pin. Honestly, the only things I didn't like about this was the seats, which I swapped, and the doors, which can essentially open as far as you want. Like I might have to put some sort of mechanism to stop it, but other than that, it is good to go. And then obviously you don't have to do this. If you don't like it, don't do it. So let's do front comparison first. So from the front, the cars in the shape are really similar. However, the original Porsche is longer and about 2 studs wider because of the air intakes on the sides. And you can see it here as well. The boot, well, the boot is the same, except this one got the actual rubber parts come up with it. This one comes with the bag. This one doesn't have a bag, but not a big deal. There's nowhere to put this bag anyway. As the front comes, I do like this look. The whole entire car have a lot less holes in it, and it just feels like it looks like just a, old school Porsche with those lines. They really capture the lines really well. Especially the front, it's got decent shape. This car does not have as good of suspension. This car is like, when it comes to suspension, it's heaps of fun. Like you can see the car is just loves it, loves to be played with. But that's not the best feature. I'll show you the best feature just in a sec. Okay, so the front changed. As you can see, this is more of a closer shape, and it's really transitions really well. It's got that slope at the front. Just to lift them up, to give you another angle. So you can see there's a fair bit of difference there. On the sides, I don't know what's the best way to do this. So for the sides, it's got an indent on the original Porsche for where the door is. And this is kind of like a smooth one-way area. And the way they played these to close all the gaps, actually really cool. But I still think they could have pushed the door maybe half a stud in. I don't know, this is a difficult one. Like you can't, it's Lego, you can't just do whatever you want. But I think you just like a little bit of the flat surface here. I think the door aesthetically more pleasing on the original car, just the way it's got the door shape, whereas this one is more of like a rectangle, but still very nice. This is just a small drawback. All right. Another thing, it's all same color, whereas on the old one, you can see there's a little black pieces coming through. I don't know why they did it, but on the inside, obviously this got neutral, drive, reverse, and the gear shifting where the steering is. This is completely different. It's got a shifter here, and here's a cool part about it. Let's get some light. So I'll show you the shifting first. So you got your first, second, it all works, it all changes speed of the engine. Then you got your third and fourth, but what happens is when you go to third and fourth, the tail lifts up. So I see first, second, third, fourth, and it's really cool. And if you go in neutral, it essentially goes back to normal. So here you go, look at that. Super cool feature. Look at that. Got that closing door sound, nice. Let's look at the back. So for original Lego Porsche, you have giant spoiler, and this is what I'm talking about. This is that, you know, 1970s look when it's just like really smooth car, you know, it's all like really aerodynamic. And then this obviously got this giant tail at the back, and this one doesn't. It's got a Porsche shape at the back. Like you look at this, you go, yep, that's a Porsche. Like you can't go like, oh no, look, it's Mercedes. Nah, it's Porsche. You can kind of tell straight away because of that iconic shape. And obviously your tail, which lifts, and then you can look at the engine. For the engine, they didn't bother making a lot of details. This got heaps more detail in the engine, so you can see like some sort of filter, maybe a turbo representation or whatever that is. Maybe it's an alternator. So all these little tiny details, whereas this just got an engine. But with that, you can actually see how fast it's spinning, because they exposed the actual you know, crankshaft. So very cool there. Like, I mean, you got so many pieces left, you can probably, you know, add your own stuff down there if you want. And this is the mechanism which essentially moves your rear wing. So when I change the gear, so overall the cars are really cool. I think I do not regret buying and building this. The interior, you know, it's all very detailed. It's still got a lot of stuff going on. You can still put that plate in there. You know how it comes with the plate here. You can probably put that plate in there if you really want to. There's space for it. Another little details, the opening on this is a lot smaller, and it's just like really good proportions for it. And you know, it's just like, it was really fun car putting together. There was no, you know, hard pieces to put together. There was nothing, you know, twisted or forced. Everything felt like you're putting a normal Lego set. You know, it wasn't. It should have been, really, this should have been a B model for this car in the first place. You know, it was done so well, and it just turned out so well as well. Like, look at this shape. This is just the lines, the way the lines down, they really follow really well each other. Whereas you look at this, it's kind of, it's still got the lines, but I don't know, it just doesn't have that iconic Porsche look like this one. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm super happy with it. You can, like, you know, go for little details all over it. You know, it does have different mirrors. I really like my seats. You know, it's something cool I did. And just in general, it's just a fun car to build and play with. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. You know, let us know what you think. If you already have this set and you know you want to do something with it, you can always change it up, make this is just as good as this. It doesn't have as complicated gearbox. There was heaps of you know, parts from the gearbox left, you know, all of this stuff. And then if you wanna add parts to your collection to build your other stuff, you can always get stuff out of this, build these, so you still have a decent car to play with or display, and you have all these spares. So as usual, thank you for watching. I'm still trying to finish the Land Rover build, so we're still doing that. It takes a fair bit of time. Obviously I found time to build this. That was kind of like a sneaky peek into it. I do have another car to build after Land Rover as well, so I have a fair few things coming out, and there is stuff happening. And obviously, you know, subscribe, like, help us out with the channel, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.